Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second game in the semifinals of the Coronation Cup 2 of Peter Host versus Fredinhiovic. A very exciting first game. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Almost as exciting as the game of Gummy Bear versus Food Please. That is also here online in the channel, and definitely worth watching. But let's focus on this game. So after losing on Nomad, Freddy has chosen his home map, and okay, I could have guessed it. It is 4 lakes. Yeah, he loves this map. I thought he might have picked Arabia here, but he feels even more comfortable on 4 lakes. And yeah, I think Arabia is probably Freddy's second home map should he lose also this game. But on 4 lakes, I think there was a game in the Coronation Cup 1 or in the Couch Cup where Freddy also performed very well on this map. Or I think he selected this map as his pick for the Couch Cup. So definitely one of his favorite maps. So Freddy here is playing as the Teutons, which is a Sith I like a lot, mainly because it is a good douching Sith. I would say the second best douching Sith after the Persians. And there is even an instructional video here on this channel on Full Plays Age of Empires that would teach you how to do the Teuton douche if you do not already know that, because I think every Age of Empires player and well, maybe in fact everyone should know how to do the Teuton douche, because it is possibly the most fun strategy on Age of Empires. So I hope that, of course, that Freddy will actually go for the Teuton douche. It would be a waste if he would not do it. Nice, taking the first boar now. He has 4 on wood, so yeah, maybe that's an indication that he could go for a douche. With the Teutons, 4 villages may be enough, because you go for the douche a bit later because you can garrison 15 villagers in your town center. Whereas with the Persians or any other Sith, you would go a bit earlier for a douche because you can fit only 10. But let's stop talking about the douche, because there's not yet a douche happening. So Freddy is going for the dock and almost losing his scout. And let's look at Peter Host here. Peter Host is playing as the Bohemians, which is a new Sith. They came out in the recent patch a couple of months ago. Their strengths are gunpowder and monks, and they have a very strong unique unit, the Hussite wagon, that they can produce from the castle, and they are almost immune to arrow fire, and they even protect the units behind the Hussite wagons from enemy arrow fire. So an anti-archer unit, and they can combine that with hand cannons in Castle Age, so they get chemistry in Castle Age, and their monasteries are cheaper, I believe, and their monastery tax affect the villagers, which is quite ridiculous. So there have been games where the player has researched handcart and wheelbarrow and the further upgrade that makes the monks faster, so then the villagers, they are walking at a very high speed, which is improving the economy of the Bohemians. Peter Host now finally, it's already on his second fishing ship, very good. And Freddy as well, so similar strategy for both players, except that Peter Host Peter Host finds a villager, and there's no loom! No! There's no loom! Why does he run away? He could have picked that villager, that would have been great. But he probably did not realize that Freddy had no loom, because Peter Host, he has also no loom, so he just is 2 villages behind. How does this happen? So must have been a lot of idle time in the TC. Horrible. And has he found a second boar? Yeah, the boars are gone. Alright. 4 fishing ships versus 4, okay. Yeah, it's the TC that was idle for Peter Host. And Peter Host advancing to the Feudal Age now. Let's see. Freddy is still in Dark Age. Freddy might go for a fast castle because he has the food, but he's not clicking up. And 30 population now, that should be enough. Okay, Q's Feudal Age now, yeah, that should be enough for a fast castle. Q's 2 more villagers, yeah, that must be a fast castle build. Going for a barracks, so maybe then stable and blacksmith will be his Feudal Age buildings. He's walling a bit. Yeah, fast castle for Freddy here for sure, and that's of course quite a good map for fast castle with these fishing ships. However, if the enemy docks your lake and then you lose your fish, then you could lose much of your economy and possibly lose the game. And indeed, that's what we see. Peter Host sneaking forward a villager. I love it. He has scouted a little bit of that lake, so yeah, can guess that Freddy is not on this one. Yeah, he even knows the dock. Okay, he knows, yeah. And he wants to. Okay, he's a bit late, so ideally you want to dock up by the time you hit Feudal Age, because you can then immediately create galleys or fire galleys and destroy the enemy fish. And Freddy is not doing that. Again, Peter Host is more aggressive player, and well, yeah, most of the time the aggressive player wins, because yeah, defense does not win the game, it only delays the inevitable. And okay, now almost palisade going down from Freddy, but Villager is safe for now, but soon he will be out of food here. Barracks, what have we seen? Okay, Freddy's creating galleys in his own dock, so does he know? He doesn't know that Peter has a dock, so maybe he wants to create a galleys to deny Peter Host from docking, but that's way too late. Peter Host was in Feudal Age faster. He has to assume that a dock is already there, or he could just scout around. Because in that case you would want fire galleys if you expect water warfare in these tiny ponds. And what's Freddy's plan here? Okay, he wants to boom. He just wants to boom, and he's going scouts. Okay, no fast castle, I was wrong. He's just going for scouts. Well, I'm not sure that I like that. I think it's better to attack on the water. Because the scouts, they can find some pickings, but how does Peter Host know? He already has spearmen stationed on his gold. Peter now going to Castle Age earlier once again, and this is looking dangerous for Freddy as the first fire galley is coming out for Peter Host. And scouts being attacked by something. Okay, by 5 scouts from Freddy. Maybe he can do some damage with the scouts. Yeah, but Peter Host now very aware of the scouts, and wow, this is a terrible palisade. They will block his villager, but will definitely be safe then. Now it's water combat. Yeah, the fire guy is just destroying the fish. They should attack the galley first, but yeah, Peter should have it here on this pond. And but it's open there and there's no spearmen. Villagers will go down here most likely if Freddy can block. Or yeah, just take it. Spears were out of position, and that's so often we see that spears, yeah, in theory they counter the scouts, but you need to have them in the right spot, otherwise they are useless and they are so slow. Now it's Peter is fighting villagers. Oh no. Oh no, that's not a good idea. You don't want to fight with 3 scouts. I think he should have split his spearmen. Have 2 on the woodline and 2 on the gold. And possibly even more, because Freddy has a lot of scouts, but Freddy has now lost all his fish except for this one. And that's really terrible. He starts to fish again, but that's the momentum is gone. He take a long time for him to recreate his economy, and meanwhile Peter Host's fish are working. Although, to be fair, Peter Host only has 4 fish, which I don't like at all. I think you can easily create 7 or 8 fish on this pond. It's definitely worth it. There's so much fish. And then, yeah, just go for a second pond and also create another, let's say, 8 fishing ships to take advantage of all the free food that is in these lakes. As it is now, Peter Host 10 villages behind, 11 villages behind. So he probably had more TC idle time, and fishing numbers now similar. Yeah, that was this one. And the scouts, yeah, they have to do a lot of damage. Okay, Freddy somehow also got up to Castle Age. Yeah, he was farming a lot, which is not ideal if you could fish alternatively. Peter also farming a lot because he doesn't take full advantage of his fishing opportunities. But he's creating more fish now, which is... oh no, that's Freddy. Peter doesn't seem to care much about fishing. Although we know from previous casts that Peter is quite a fish expert, so he knows all the fish species in Age of Empires. So what do we have here? Dorado, snappers, Dorados, snappers, only Dorados and snappers. And knights now coming out from Peter, and yeah, Peter wants to probably win by raiding with knights, taking out the fishing economy, but he's not aware that Freddy is creating a new fishing economy in a different pond, so the strategy for Peter Host might not work out as well as last time. And also, we won't see a castle drop anytime soon, as Peter Host has no villagers on stone. And Freddy hits the castle edge, and I would say that with the Bohemians, I think a castle drop could be a good idea. But Peter's sticking with the knights for now, which is a good play in almost any situation. Freddy doesn't have enough to defend, so he will lose villagers. Freddy now also going knight, so knight on knight action, and in that scenario the Teutons have the advantage because their knights gain an extra melee armor in Castle Age. And in fact, in the Imperial Age they would get an additional melee armor, so yeah, they will always have the advantage in one-on-one combat. But they are slower because they don't get husbandry. So Peter, I think he needs to switch it up a bit here. Just going knights probably not going to work, especially as Freddy is on triple stable, and with 46 villages now, almost 10 more than Peter Host, he has the economy to back it up. These fishing ships, only 4 or 5 for now, one is idle. Yes, again, he could create a couple more here, and maybe even send a villager to that pond and just take the food when it's there. Is that open here? No. Oh, the market is blocking. Ooh, the knights in on the gold now. Village is going down, but despite all these raids, somehow Freddy is still ahead. So yeah, Peter is creating villages, but he must have had some idols. And a lot of pikemen now for Peter, okay. I think that's another bonus of the Bohemians, that their pikemen have some extra attack against cavalry. More bonus damage than they usually would do anyway. Maybe he needs to bring his pikemen forward if he wants to continue to push, because his knights are being overwhelmed here. Definitely outnumbered. Freddy now has even the second attack upgrade. So only lacking an armor upgrade. Oh, where did Peter get the castle from? That was fast. Did he buy it? He must have mined some. He mined a lot of stone. Okay, didn't see that. That's a nice castle. Protects the gold, protects the stone, protects the southern flank of his base. But maybe he should add a second TC if he can get some more wood. Well, I guess he's spending his wood now on Hussite wagons. Okay, so he wants to be more aggressive. In this case, he could have considered putting the castle forward, but well, given that Freddy has knights, it's also a good idea to have some defenses at home. And then move forward with your army and maybe drop a second castle onto the walls of Freddy to deny his resources. Freddy now tries to push, but yeah, there's no way for him here. Castle is defending it, and the army of Peter is here. Could loop around, but the gold is walled in. Yeah, there's not much angles of attack here, so Freddy focusing now on his economy, and I would say that is the right thing. Yes, if you see that Peter is well defended, then no point in bashing your head against the wall. Like I did a couple of days ago against Guinevere. Guinevere had a ridiculous defense with mangonels behind stone walls. I tried to break him, but I was repelled, and that's what would happen here to Freddy if he tried to attack. So yeah, just boom a little bit, go up to Imp, and then trap down Peter Host. He has still only 5 fishing ships. Probably no gill nets again. Peter Host still on 4. Yeah, I don't. So Freddy is not really taking advantage of this map, and that is a bit of a bummer because it's his home map. I thought he had some sick strategy prepared, but he plays it like almost like Arabia with a little bit of water. Not sure what these knights are doing out there. Looking for a dock, maybe. I mean, that's a cute idea. You kill the. Oh, actually, they find the villager of Peter Host. That's ridiculous. Peter Host finally wanted to dock. I'm not sure why he wants to dock now. I think at this stage, well, it's probably still worth it, but it's not. Maybe not as critical anymore as it was in the early game. Peter Host slowly gathering the resources for Imperial Age, and once he's on the way to Imp, he could already get chemistry to start a bombard cannon push. In fact, a pikeman bombard cannon push, starting from the moment when he hits Imp, could be very strong here for Peter Host, but he needs to survive this onslaught of Freddy. Okay, now Peter Host is moving out again. Yeah, once again, I think the players here, they could be more aggressive. They are just sitting back now, yeah, trying to do some raids, but they are cautious. They very much respect their opponents. I think after this first game, Freddy knows, okay, Peter Host, he is sharp. I have to be very careful here, and he sees the ridiculous Hussite wagons. What a silly unit. I mean, look at them. They're like cars. Wow. Or tanks. But surprisingly strong. 17 attack, 7 pierce armor. I'm not sure if this group of knights would be enough. Probably, it's almost 18. Well, it's maybe 14 knights. Peter's knights here out of position, but yeah, the Teuton knights are too slow, they cannot chase. Although, looking at this, looks like Peter does not have husbandry, because otherwise his knights would be faster than the Teuton knights. And Peter Yeah, he transitions out of knights now, which is a good idea because in Imperial Age the knights of the Bohemians are not as strong, and they should go for halberdiers, Hussite dragons, exactly. However, now doing all these researches in the Castle Age is not ideal, because I think at this stage it's a bit late to do a Castle Age push. He probably could have clicked up to Imperial Age already had he not spent all these resources on the research. So bit of a misplay there in my opinion, because yeah, his army is just standing at home. So if you're not pushing, then it's a waste of resources to create all of this army here. Whereas Freddy, he has done the Visor move and focused on his economy. He doesn't have much military, 20 versus 43, but it doesn't matter because Peter does not attack, and Freddy has a castle now on the hill in front of his base. So 3 TCs booming away, and yeah, Peter is just waiting and sitting, and yeah, you don't win a game like that. We've seen it in the last game. The aggressor wins, or if none of the players is attacking, then the boomer wins. And the boomer here is Freddy. I think both players are very busy just managing their economy, which is understandable. It is quite tedious if you have to seed all these farms. That's why it's always tempting for me to just use the market. But yeah, in the later stages of the games, the market is not sufficient. And Peter, he could have added fish here as well if he has the dock already. It seems the players have completely forgotten about water. 6 fishing ships. Okay, so Freddy has added 1 more fishing ship here. Peter has not. And after his first failed attempt, he did not try to build another dock here. He has a pikemen, Hussite, Vagans and monks for Peter Host. That's a strong combination. If he can actually push forward, that should win him the game. But yeah, he's still hanging out at his own base. Will reach Imp shortly now, but Freddy is Imp first. And what? Look at these KP boys. Freddy is going for Teutonic Knights. Well, I'm not sure about that. I guess he has seen the pikemen, but they will just die to the Hussite Dragons. Well, the Hussite Dragons are slow as well, but I believe they can be upgraded to be faster. Chemistry now complete for Peter Host. Very nicely done. So as he hits the Imperial Age, he can create bombard cannons from his siege workshop immediately. Yeah, there they're coming. Creating more barracks for probably to add in pikes and later halberdiers. I like it. This composition is super difficult to break. I think that Freddy should probably take into onagers to take out these wagons. Heavy cavalry could work as well. Teuton knights are super strong, or Teuton cavaliers, maybe even paladins. Especially when Peter doesn't have the halberdier upgrade. Yeah, but I think Freddy needs something else here, and Teutonic knights, as much as I like them, they're probably not gonna cut it. Yeah, they will shred the pikemen, but against the wagons, I don't think they stand a chance. So, yeah, Peter can see Freddy, and Freddy can see the looming army of Peter, and both players still a stalemate here. Freddy going for cavaliers here, going for plate mail armor, and the first bomber cannon now on the castle of Freddy. And if Freddy did all the upgrades on the castle, so the fletching bodkin arrow and the Coronation upgrade of the Teutons, which gives castles an extra free range, then he would outrange these bombard cannons, or range them, and then Peter couldn't push with them. So He would have to add traps then. But I don't think Freddy thinks about that. And well, Freddy now, I'd say, should add his own bomber cannons, but I don't think he has chemistry. He doesn't even have a university. Oh no, he just wants to go for... No, for scouts! Oh no, please not. Don't go for scouts while he has so much food and wood, but scouts will just die to the pikemen and to the household wagons, and Teutons don't even get light calf, so scouts is the wrong play here. Ah. Okay, he's trying to snipe bomber cannons. Oh, look at these wagons, ridiculous, and the monks. Whoa. What a death ball here by Peter Host. How can this be stopped? Well, not... oh god, not by scouts, that's for sure, no. The traps are being sniped. Oh god, everything going wrong here for Freddy. I had a promising start, but the army composition is just not there, and the army numbers as well. Look at that, 40 to 85. That is terrible for Freddy, but because he's not spending his resources. His army, his economy is completely out of balance. Too much food, too much wood, no gold. You can't use trash against this. Maybe skirms could work, but oh god, look at that. This looks GG. Freddy's being melted. I mean, this is essentially a Castle Age army here from Peter Host. There's no Imperial Age upgrades on these units. But it's enough. Freddy is losing against a Castle Age army in Imp. Because he's playing with a Feudal Age army here. The Scout Caps. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, they are fully upgraded otherwise. So his Cavaliers should be strong. Especially with the extra melee armor, but not strong enough against this death ball from Peter Host. And more scouts? No, I can't believe it. Scouts cannot work against pikemen. That is so bad. Why is he going for scouts? At least go for skirmishes. Skirmishes have killed the pikemen, and they have a bonus against the Hussite wagons as well, I believe. But you can't go scouts as the Teutons. That is... oh, it's bad. It's raiding. Okay, maybe the raids can work. Well, Peter needs to push more. Where is his siege? He has almost 200 pop. What is he waiting for? It can only get worse from here. I mean, Freddy will raid him, and yeah, just push now. If you have such an advantage, you need to push. Instead, he's losing his bombard cannon to villagers. Oh no! Oh, look at this Hussite wagon. I think they're missing shots here. Yeah, bombard cannon is going down, and this army is standing there. It makes me furious. Peter Host, wake up! Push! Finish this game. It should be his game. Bit low on gold as well. And low on wood. Oh, because he's being... oh wow, he's being raided a lot. Now down to 90 villagers. And he still has a Castle Age army. Well, you know, at some point you have to get some Imperial Age upgrades. Maybe this is arrogance. Peter Host thought, okay, I don't need Imperial Age upgrades except for some bombard cannons. Otherwise, I will defeat Freddy with a Castle Age army. But yeah, maybe that is a bit too overconfident, as Peter Host is now down to 80 villagers. The raids from Freddy clearly working, and Freddy's ridiculous army composition seems to work out better than I expected. But that must be simply, well, a lack of strategy here from Peter Host, where he's just didn't use his advantage, because yeah, even now his army should beat the army of Freddy. But instead Freddy is pushing. What's going on here? Host, he has a lot of those wagons. Yeah, if he gathers his forces, he could push forward. He has enough resources as well for the Hufnitsch upgrade, I would say. So there could be bomber cannons that are extra strong. But yeah, even regular bomber cannons just would be enough here. Sniper traps. Peter Host has the resources. Oh, he has Hufnitsch. Okay. Maybe not all is lost then. Look at those. But he needs to protect them. He needs to protect them. Don't lose the Hufnitsch. He saved it. Yeah, but Peter Host so much on the back foot now. 75 villagers. Still has a big army that doesn't do much. Now he tries to convert the Teutonic Knights, but Teutons have a lot of conversion resistance, one of their civ bonuses. And wow, these Teutonic Knights are quite tanky. There's another raid from Freddy is coming in, and this could actually work out as Peter Host is down to 70 villages. I can't believe what I'm watching. How is Peter Host losing this game after having such a big lead? He somehow was not able to push, and yeah, that was probably his death sentence, as he's almost down to half the villagers. Peter Host, and he never got the halberdier upgrade. It's just terrible. When you're playing against an opponent who's mainly making cavalry and get the halb upgrade. 2 Hufnitschs now, so maybe there's still a chance, but now there's no protection for the Hussite wagons. You always want to have some pikemen in front if you're playing against cavalry. Yeah, but not enough army here for Peter Host, and yeah, okay, it looks like Peter Host could. Oh no, he will get sandwiched here. I was going to say Peter Host could still push, but no, I think that's it for Peter. Oh, nice shot. Oh, they are so slow, these Teutonic Knights. And bad micro from Freddy. What is this? Either you attack or you don't, but to walk in and then walk back out, it's just giving Peter an opportunity to snipe all these units. Yeah, but Peter's economy is in shambles. Look at that. 64 villages and 26 are idle, so Freddy almost has triple the economy of Peter Host here. And Peter Host will take a long time to recover from that. And I'm not sure if Freddy will give him the time. Well, if this game continues as it went on so far, then yeah, probably he will have the time. Oh, nice snipe. Wow, look at this death ball. But I think one of these will go down. Yeah. They are quite expensive. Yeah. Just add some more halberdiers, or well, get some halberdiers, I would say, and then in theory Peter Host will be unstoppable, but yeah, now he's lacking the economy. Military numbers have dropped, and Freddy now definitely has the lead. And he could probably overwhelm Peter Host now with sheer numbers, because he has the better production. Peter Host has now a lot of food and wood, which he should invest into pikemen. He creates pikemen from 1 barracks. That is painful. He should have at least 5 barracks now, spamming pikemen. That's his only chance to defend. But it may just be too late, as Freddy is not 200 pop. And if he ever decides to actually attack, not just lose units by running around, then yeah, he should crush here. And that should be Freddy's game. Look at that. These Hussite wagons are so expensive, and they just melt, and now 4 of these going down. I think that's the game. Peter Host is in 70 pop. GG. And I mean, that game was it's quite the throw from Peter Host, to be honest. He had a considerable lead over Freddy, but he did not take advantage of it. He was very passive, stayed back, gathered his forces for forever here before he moved forward, and then even when he moved forward he didn't have enough siege, so Freddy could somehow hold with his castles. Then Freddy sent in the raids, and then Peter's population just dwindled without him ever being able to do this decisive push that you want to do with the Bohemians. You want to have a massive push coming in the middle, destroying the enemy, but he was way too slow, too hesitant, and then Freddy had a chance to come back, and again, I think I was not convinced by the play of Freddy here. I mean, Teuton scouts, that's ridiculous. Okay, it worked eventually because Peter was not attacking, but not a good strategy from Freddy, and yet it was enough here. So it's 1-1 now. I'm very curious to see the next game. It will be Peter Host's home map, and I think we all expect that it will be Arena. That's probably Peter Host's strongest map. Although Peter Host is quite the tactical player, so he might throw in maybe a different map to get into Freddy's head. That would not surprise me. Well, we'll have to wait and see. It was quite a long game, so I'll not cast the third game now. Look at that. We have the strong village lead for Freddy, who, only in the end he attained this lead. For most of the game Peter Host was ahead, so quite a surprising outcome. Well then, see you in the next game.